What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Rymaker here, coming at you with Chapter 2 of the story mode for Mortal Kombat X, and more of my useless rambling and complaining on why. Well, not really complaining, my thoughts on this game. On this chapter, do it due to the fact that it is Kortal Kahn. I'm sure there are probably some decent Kortal Kahn players out there. I'm not one of them. I'm going to be going over fighting. The fighting mechanics in this game and just how one-sided they are. How their own. I find that the fighting style, like not the fighting styles, but more of the way some players act, it forces you to use certain characters. Scorpion, for instance, Johnny Cage, Cassie. I'm pretty sure there's probably a couple more. I've seen a lot of Liu Kangs out there. The fighting in the game is just really, really, it's really fluid and really easy. It's mainly you can just, those are your button mash style players. Kano's one of them too. Kano. I use Kano, but I've actually learned a lot of his combos and stuff, and they're actually really decent combos. And his special moves are cool too. His special moves change between two different fighting styles, but I'm not here to cover Kano's character. Rain. Why is he not in the game? Questions need to be answered, NetherRealm. Why is Rain not in the game? Why does Melina look Asian? These are questions that I need NetherRealm to answer. And inquiring minds want to know what is up with some of these characters. But to me, some of the bigger characters, Kortal Kahn, Ferrator, Garo, I think that's it for your bigger characters, like your bigger in size characters. They just, I get it, they're slow. They pretty much need to be, because if you got a guy who's in retrospect 9 foot tall and moves like he's 4'2" and weighs 120 pounds, his moves are fluid. Devore is another good, getting off subject on this one. Devore is another good button masher character. If you're playing on anywhere from very easy to medium, you can easily beat things with Devore just by blocking and button mashing, which is what some people do. But hey, that's not. I'm not here to judge how you play the game. I'm here to tell you what I think of this game so far and what I've gotten into it. Another one of these damn button sequences. I tell you, there's no. But I missed it, and there's no achievement for getting it right, for doing the entire sequence. None. Come on. I haven't even looked at the achievements for this game yet. I don't even want to get. I think I'm gonna save that for another day. The achievement list. But yeah, just this chapter to me was a pain it was a pain because Kortal Kahn. Oh, I thought it said he relies on special moves and things of that nature. While he has button combos, his window is incredibly small to do it in. He doesn't have, well, I mean, none of the characters have a huge window, but Kahn's fighting is just so bleh. Well, well, not his fighting, his sun god, his sun god fighting style is that way for sure. But it's like single move, but you redo the move. There's no real. Let me see if I can actually get a combo. enough space for it, but I was like bum, bum, and that was like 2 seconds and nothing. Mainly, if you want to cheap any character with Kortal, playing on easy, right Y, down Y, right Y. It's not a full-on combo. 2 hits, 21 damage, and it's just like 2 hits, 21 damage. I understand he's a bigger character, but he has no fluid movement, none whatsoever. He's stiff as a fucking brick, and it's madness. By the way, that's not a realistic stab wound. And here comes Tanya. She's in the game. I like that. She was in 4. She was a decent female character from 4. I like her costume design. It's a real change from her full suit from 4 and the what, Deception or Armageddon, one of those two. She actually has a from what I can see, decent nightstick style fighting. She could easily have some good fast special attacks with those. Yeah, this is how pretty much cheap every fight in story mode. Unless
Bad fool.
Unless Tanya decides to be a pain in the butt. Block up. Boom. Running up is good. It's a cheap. Kortal's cheap. Tanya looks like she's gonna be crazy for online. I know some decent. I've seen some decent female character fighters. Like that looked like a pretty decent combo. What is? Look how slow it takes him to throw this. It's like that was a really slow throw. Like that's easily punishable in any real fighting situation. Like when the tournaments are really going to start up, the professional tournaments, I don't see Kortal being a main character. I'm destined. I know I'm going to see some Kunjins. I think there's one or two Sub-Zeros I've seen, some Scorpions, some Katanas, Melinas. I've seen Takeda, Aaron Black. I think I saw a Kung Lao. But I know not every fighter uses a different character. A lot of them will use the same fighter and be really proficient with that character. But for me, fighting wise, this game, it forces you to use certain characters, which I don't like. I'm not a fan of that. They have harder characters to use, but to use those characters, you've got to spend hours inside of the training room to decently learn these characters. Or you have certain characters you can just pick up and play with and easily run through a tower. Kano's, I've actually been attempting to learn, who is it? I've been attempting to learn Johnny, even though he's got decent button mashing abilities with his triple X and triple Y strikes. Oh, wow. The duck block again. I'm gonna cheap you out. I'm just trying to get this fight done. Because Rain... See, and that's what I'm talking about. The Sunstone being... See, and he just hit me from a ways away. That's what... And that right there was perfect example of that right there too. Perfect example of Sunstone being so easily punishable. Wake up attacks. Because this gives you so much distance. Oh, I hit the X right that time. A lot of them like the forward wide, down wide hit for Kortal is easily punishable if you don't directly go into a block on a wake up. You can't dash at somebody as they're waking up and initiate another combo because, like I said, he's a bigger character, which, you know, everybody's got to have their default, their defects and stuff. The bigger characters just happen to be fighting style. You really have to learn how to use that character. Aaron Black, you can pick him up and use him at any point. While he doesn't have good button mashing ability, he is a cheap character. He's got a special move that is a sliding move. And even on a wake up, if your feet are touching the ground and you don't block, you're gonna just keep flipping. And it's such an easy combination to put in. Oh shit, another fucking fast person fight. Kortal Kahn trying to that roll. It's pretty much like Aaron Black's fucking slide. And I guess in that case too, you could throw in looks to me like one hand, two hand. Yeah, it's a one-handed uppercut to the two-handed uppercut. These flying moves. Into that, you could throw Melina's slide, her cannonball, Kano's cannonball. Aaron Black slide, and then the shadow kick from Johnny Cage. All these are easily cheap moves because it's an automatic knockdown. So as soon as a person attempts to get up, you put in the button command again, and boom, you're already hitting them with it again before they even have a chance to block. I mean, some of the fighting styles in this game they're not really made for newer players. Like if you're a newer player to the fighting game genre, just picking up Mortal Kombat X, I advise, while you will get aggravated with it, I suggest doing the tutorials and spending some time in the training room, learning a decent character, getting some real one-on-one hands-on time, and also, you know, get friends. I guess we'll do chapter 3 too, because chapter 2 is really short, and I think chapter 3 is short too. Johnny Cage had like a 30-minute chapter. I know the whole story mode, I think, runs about 2 hours, which is that's really 2 hours. I know they could have put more time into it, because they definitely, you can't tell me all their time went to all their time went to uh, character design. That's just crazy. Um, but my honest opinion, coming from, I would say a amateur fighting game player, because like I said, I don't play them 24/7. I've picked this one up and started playing it a good amount of time. Um, they could have really done a lot better with the fighting. I know people that love this game and say, "Oh, hands down, best fighting game out there." Because I know for me, Street Fighter, the last Street Fighter that came out on 360, that was a bust for me. That one was a bust. Sub Zero's another character. I had a problem with his fighting mechanics. While he does have decent button combos, the input time is short and just normal button, like movement button combos are not there. Because in this game, there is a difference between just pressing it, between standing still and pressing the X button, and pressing a directional button. Which I have a bad habit of also pressing a directional button while trying to execute an attack, like just a punch attack. Like I know Sub Zero has a triple X. They all have that triple X, that
Stop wasting time and take me.
triple X combo. It's like that's Sub Zero's. But I've always got a thing of pushing a directional button. He's got a kick combo. I can't remember how to do it. Oh, I'm getting tackled. There it is. X-ray. Grab it. Swing it. Icicle. In the eye. This part you gotta do like 4 fights in this area. This I usually do. You'll see a lot of special moves. Yeah, he's got that cheap slide move too. Look, you don't have to. They don't even have to be off the ground. They can his slide move. They can still be on the ground. I know Kano's cannonball. They have to at least be getting up.
You are more like your mother than you think.
That was cheap. I guess I'm gonna be known as the cheapest fighting game player in the world. I've played with Takeda a little bit. Takeda's a really fun character to play with. His Shirin Ryu fighting style is really fluid. He's got a really fluid fighting style, even like combo wise. I think in story mode though, it's all Ronin. I think there might be a Lasher. The down 2 in this game is fucking overpowered. I seen a down 2. I think down 2s are 14%. While that slot I think is like 8. Hit him with the X-ray. Something I like to talk in this one too. Interactions with the environment.
You are not your father.
On a lot of the levels, I love them. This one has one of them that I love. It's the ability that when you're stuck in a corner, if you're being cornered, you can hit the right bumper and actually jump over your opponent as to not get trapped in a corner. Because anybody who's played fighting games will tell you, or even if you just picked one up for the first time, that was a nice combo. Her full auto is crazy. Oh, she deflected it. Yeah, you can deflect things in this game now. You used to not be able to deflect ice balls back at people. Well, yeah, if there's too much distance. I haven't played with Jackie yet, but if there's too much distance, there's always a way to close said gap. Like that one has one right there. But like if I get back over here, I can actually jump off that coffin and either use it to create distance or close a gap. Glad I bought that. Like, you see how I have her trapped in this corner? Because it's on easy, she didn't do it. But if it would have been on like hard or anything like that, best believe they'd have jumped off that tree and got on the other side of me and tried to trap me in the corner. I've seen King of the Hill matches where they'll sit there and jump in and out the corner like 3 or 4 times a match. And just because they're trying to get away, just because they're each trying to avoid getting trapped in the corner. Well, here we go. Kunjin. Just when you thought I was down, I'm never down. Sub-Zero's the Grandmaster, bitch. I like his human form. Only problem is, his human form looks a whole lot like, you can see some resemblance in him and Scorpion's human form, which I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. Kunjin's gonna kick my ass. It's not easy, and I just got like combo by Kunjin. Come close, you can get down to. Wake up, down to. X-ray. Like I said, you can hear the buttons. I'm pretty sure you might be able to hear my controller going off. I'm hitting these buttons, man. Let me see if I can find a decent combo. And it's like you have to hit him with that first. You have to hit it with that first initial. I just had the roundhouse. You was actually getting some combos in on me right there. I got kind of worried.
False
But yeah,
does not suit you.
that's another, you know, that's a con for me. The fact that even on easy, y'all you just saw that combos. Kunjin's a really good character. Really good movement style, fighting styles. I didn't really see which fighting style that was. But it's not a game that somebody can just pick up because it's the newest game. Like, they will probably get aggravated with this game and not like it. I've already heard people say, "Oh, I can't play it because it's." I've heard people say this game is too hard. On medium, like people playing on medium, not real big fighting players, that this game is too hard. And that's a problem for me because then that takes away from somebody's experience playing this game. And that's not something any game company at all should ever do, is take away from somebody's game experience. Because by because if you take in one game, if you take away from somebody's game experience, if your company makes another game, that person is not gonna buy it because they're gonna think in their mind, oh, well, I remember when they made this game and I didn't like it due to this. So what if this game's the exact same? And I think here we're getting ready to go into another chapter. Um, I believe we're going into Sonya. I believe chapter 3 is Sonya Blade. Yeah, it's Kenshi's son. I'm waiting for the little title screen to pop up saying chapter 3 Sonya Blade. Or no, I think chapter 3 is Kunjin because you're gonna. I think right here is where you travel to Outworld as the younger generation special forces team. That's what I call them. The YGSSFT, younger generation special forces team, or I should I say a really bad mistake. Um, I know Lee May. She was a decent character in some of the in some other Mortal Kombat games. With all these, I understand. Yeah, she doesn't even look like she's a fighter, but some of these, I think that's one big mistake they made was putting. Yeah, you can leave some fighters out, but some of the fighters they left out were people's favorites, and I think they could NetherRealm could have done a better job with character selection and given us a lot more characters. Um, Character selection is just too low for what I would consider good. A good character selection. I think maybe another 4 or 5 fighters and character selection, you'd see a lot bigger variety in character selection due to fighting differences. Because I do like the fact that they brought back the different fighting styles. I'm not a big fan of the fact that they don't vary. The moves don't vary as much. Um, if you remember from like Armageddon or Deception with the different fighting styles, when you switch from one to the other, which you could do mid game. This one, if you learn a fighting style, you learn that fighting style, and there's no switching, like none, in like anywhere. Yeah, chapter 4, Kunjin. This is where we're gonna stop for tonight. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back at a later time with chapter 4 of Kunjin, and I will find a different topic to give you my thoughts and opinions on. But as for now, y'all, as always, be safe.